this painting tonight. I did redo the leaves up at the top off camera and just kind of worked on those a little more. And then I worked on the sunset off camera. I might need to add another layer of white to the white parts of the clouds. But today I want to focus on the grass and the lamb. I probably need to paint the lamb first and then do the grass second. So, hi Logo, how are you? So yeah, we're gonna paint this baby lamb, and oh, and I also have to do the cross. So I'll probably work on the cross first, and then we'll do the lamb. All right, let me sit down. Oh goodness. So it's looking good. Thank you. I am so proud of it. And I guess in the beginning, I wasn't really feeling it all that much, but the more I work on it and see it progress, I'm feeling more and more happy about how it's turning out, and I'm really proud of myself for getting to this point with it. And I'm looking forward to seeing it be completed. So the plan is, I'm going to finish this. I'm going to work on the alien UFO challenge that I was invited to join, and then and I'll record that. It's a digital drawing, and then I'll work on my Aunt Abby's painting, and once my Aunt Abby's painting is done, I'll mail both of these together to them. Well, this is new. I have to open it. They have the plastic so far down. Gosh. Maybe I'll just do it this way. See if I can go to the board. Come on. Got it. How to use my teeth. This one is new. It's called Raw Sienna. I'm going to use that for the highlight colors. All right, let's get the base color in, and then I'll add the highlights. But yeah, so I decided to go against my husband's wishes and go ahead and get that Switch 2. So there was just a communication error between us. I told him I went to GameStop and was asking all these questions about the cost and trade-ins and this, that, and the other. And I said, so on Wednesday at 3, from 3 to 8, they're saying we can go in and do all that, purchase the Switch 2, and then at 11 we can pick it up. And he said, why don't you just wait till it comes out? And that's all he said. And I took that as, don't spend the money on it. You can just wait. You don't need it right now. That's how I took it. So I was bummed, and I was fine, if you say so, whatever. But then he went to the casino today to do a poker tournament, and I got really upset. And I was like, how come I can't spend money, but he can? And I got all, uppity about it. And so I said, screw it. I'm going to GameStop, and I'm buying that Switch 2. So he comes home from the poker tournament, and we're talking. And I was like, I bought my Switch 2 today. And he goes, I thought I told you to wait. And I was like, well, if you could spend money, then I could spend money. And he was like, it was never about money. And I was like, what do you mean? And he goes, you told me that your big plan was to do a bunch of trade-ins so that you could buy the game console. And I was like, I was only doing one trade-in. I was going to trade in Emma's old Switch, and I was going to give her my OLED because it's brand new, and I just bought it this year so she can have an upgrade. And he was like, oh, well, why didn't you just say that? And I was like, I didn't think I had to. And he was like, I don't care that you bought the Switch. I was just telling you to wait, because I didn't want you to feel like you had to trade in all these consoles just to buy a new console. And I was like, sounds like we had a communication problem here. And he was like, you think? So I guess, in the future, we need to not make assumptions and just work on what we want to say. It's pretty silly. So then we ended up just laughing over it and thought it was pretty funny. This is such a nice, rich brown. It's giving like Hershey's. Excuse you. No, you're excused. How's that for entertainment? How much monthly payments? uh, Logo said 7 out of 10 burp.
Didn't realize you were recording that.
Yeah, you're on camera, sir.
I'm not on camera. I might be on audio.
You're the star of the show.
I think your ratings are back to drop.
You just burped again.
Well, I was on my way to the room.
He has no manners. Uncouth. Having like a painting that's like pre-drawn almost makes it feel like a paint by numbers a little bit, or like coloring in a coloring book. Ooh. Okay. All right, let's get the highlights in for the wood grain. I need this guy. So what all did you do today, Logo? Hope you had a good day. It's kind of still juicy. Just blow on it. Try faster. I don't know how I want to do these wood grains. Simple strokes. Keep it simple. Alternate size and length. You cleared up after summer practice of football and the baseball games. Cool. Did you get to watch the practice? Cheer on the kids? I was playing my fantasy life game last night, and I'm at this part where, like, I just started doing the carpentry life, and I guess it is starting to feel a little bit redundant at this point. I know, like, I just looked at the screen, the glare, you can't even really see what I'm doing because the paint's all white and reflective. Sorry. Still a cute game, though. I mean, I'm gonna keep playing it, but I just found myself, like, speeding through the dialogue a little more than I normally do. Ooh, I put my hand in it. I smeared it. Try not to do that. All right. So now I need to create some type of a mid-tone so I can get the ones in the shaded spots. So let's grab a little bit of this brown. And mix in this lighter brown to create something in the middle. A little more of that. So this will be a little more subtle, but I want it to still be there. All right, there we go. And then we'll do this bottom part over here. All right, nice. Okay, and then a brighter, let's do this, and that'll give us some more highlight. See if I can find like a really thin brush, like a really thin brush. I don't think I have any of my watercolor brushes in here. Oh, I do. Let's get it wet. Alright. Grab that color and then roll it to a point. It's not as thin as I was hoping it would be. I gotta find something else. I just bought some thin brushes. Where are they? Hold on. I'll be right back. What did I do with them? Oh, here they are. They're in this other cup. This is like a super thin brush. Look how thin that is. I don't even know if you can see it. You see that? It's so tiny. Yeah. All right. Some of this light brown. And we'll just add in some highlights on the marks that we've already made. It's kind of giving like a baby deer. It's what it's reminding me of. It's like spots on a baby deer. And then so I'm going to go pick up that Switch 2 at 11, sometime between 11 and midnight. And then I got to thinking, am I going to go ahead and play it? I want to, but I also know I have to work tomorrow. Maybe knowing that I own it should be enough. And I can always play it after work. Got the Mario Kart bundle one, and the Mario Kart game it looks so cute, you know. And I like that they added some new characters as drivers. Like you can play as the cow from Moo Moo Farms. And so many other characters. So and I really want to do the part where you get to go off the track and just explore the world. And I'm gonna be honest, that was the most intriguing part about that game for me. When they said that, I want to see what's off the track. I want to go see what they added and what all you can find. There. Done. All right, let's get some black. And then we'll put some black streaks on the bottom part to give it some more contrast. Don't need a lot. Oh, I forgot to get a paper towel. There we go. So I was like watching a tutorial video yesterday on how to do Studio Ghibli style grass. And I am going to attempt to do that for this painting. I'm going to try my best. It might look stupid, but I mean, practice makes perfect. You never know if you can do it unless you try. All right, good deal. Cross is done. That didn't take long at all. All right, now we got to do the lamb. I'm nervous. I'm nervous about the lamb. I feel like I'm going to screw it up, but here we go. All right. Some white. I don't know how much white I'm going to need. I want to do white. I want to do that tan color that I used for the highlights and the cross. And I need a little more of that. Just a little more. And then I want to also do like a baby yellow. Ooh. That one's got some chunks on it. There we go. Made a mess. Let's see, we're gonna do like a baby yellow. Let's get that over there. And should I do maybe a little tiny touch of orange? Like a baby orange? This is the same color that I used in the sunset for the oranges and the clouds. Just need a little bit of that. Okay, here we go. I'm just gonna do my best. We're going to, where do I start? Maybe in the ears. Gotta start somewhere. I'm just gonna brush these in, and then I'm gonna go in with the white and the other colors, and I'm going to alternate and try to blend the other colors in as I go. That's my plan of action. Never painted a lamb before. And lambs are fluffy, so let's try to remember that as we do this. Tap the colors in. that back leg. Get the shading on this side. Get some of that white. Okay. I'll brush that in a little bit. Just tapping that color in. I'm trying to do this in a way that I'm leaving gaps in space to add the other colors as well. And I feel like adding in the bits of yellow and orange might help break it up and make it look more visually interesting. And then tapping it in also gives it that texture of curliness. And maybe you need to use a bigger brush. Maybe I'll save this tiny brush for the face, and then I'll use a slightly bigger brush for the body. This one's loose. That's an old brush. It's not coming off though. So. All right. Oh, that's better. Yeah, I'm getting a lot more done. You gonna have some chips and dip?
I thought I would just put napkins in it and wrap it on my ears.
Ooh. we go. Some light up here. All right, let's add that little pop of yellow. Just kind of spread it around. Put some in the ears. Put some white. I gotta put some white right here on his like muzzle and under his chin, or well, his chin. Yeah, the chin. It's really like coming along. It looks kind of cute. Kind of fill in some of these gaps a little bit. And then I can take a little bit of that darker brown, mix it with that tan, create like a shadow color. Just really get it right on those creases. So it helps give some definition to the shape. And then we'll put maybe a little bit, just a little bit on the face, like under the chin. Mouth. And then like a tiny touch of it in the ears. Right there. get some of this very light tannish white and just blend a little bit more of it into these solid white areas. What I'm trying to do is just really show that texture in the wool. By using like subtle colors to, using subtle color changes to indicate that there is like some slight shadowing happening in the wool, you know. Okay. I do want to add that little bits of orange. And I might do it just along the shaded areas. And I do want to add some in the ears. Like that. And where is that tiny little brush? There you are. Let's get some pure white. And do some little streaks. Right here. Some brown. Oh, I probably ought to do a nose too. So I'll give him a little orange nose. All right, now we got to work on his eyes. I'm going to get that dark brown. Let me clean off this brush. That pure dark brown. It's pretty thick. There we go. And I'm going to very gently draw the eye. like that. Try not to mess up. Awesome. Okay, I do want to get some of that pure white. And I want to do like a white highlight above the eye. Yeah. Okay. All right, we're gonna get the black. Very gently get that pupil in there. Get the other one. My sheep kind of looks like it's done, like it's had enough. You know, it's given like this face, like, bruh. All right, get that light brown. Add some highlights. I kind of feel like since I went so dark on the lining of the eye that I need to use some of that real dark brown elsewhere. Okay. Just kind of subtly. try to be like kind of bumpy with it, so it's given that sense of, you know, texture. What do you think of my lamb?
Very sheepish.
All right. I think we're done with the sheep. I do need to soften, well, I do need to soften those eyes a little bit because, like, they are really intense. I gotta do something. I gotta fix that for sure. Let's take some of this tan and can go in. Maybe we just need to change the shape of them. Because I want the sheep to give more of an innocent look and not so much of a judging us look. Because it looks like it is judging the crap out of us. Okay, kind of went over it with some light brown. Let's get some of this dark. Maybe I should use a little bit of a bigger brush to mix this. Some dark. It's chunky. It's starting to dry. And let's mix it with a little bit of white. Give us a less intense brown color. There we go. A little creamier now. All right. Okay, we're going to change the shape. We're going to go up and then down, like that. Up, then down. Up, then down. And then, excuse you. gosh, my phone. Angus, stop sending me TikToks. All right. That looks a little bit better. Just a bit. Okay. We need we need to do the little highlights in its eyes. Let's get a dab of white. Wow, that's a lot. Let's not. Hold on. Let's get rid of that. Whoops. My bad. Crap. Okay. Well, let's try that again. I feel like I'm going to be tweaking around with this sheet for a minute. And that's like really annoying. You know, when you have this vision in your head of what you want it to look like, but you just can't figure out how to do it. That's kind of what's happening right now. Like, I know what I want it to look like, but how do I get it to that point? Like, are my strokes too thick? Are they too dark? Or like, what is it that I'm doing wrong? Is that cute? That look cute. It looks a lot more innocent now, for sure. I made the eyes a lot more round. I tried to keep the lining of the eyes a little bit thinner. So it definitely gives off a different, like, personality now, for sure. It's a lot more pleasant. I do still need to do the highlights, and this time I can't mess them up. Don't mess them up. Okay, there's one. There's that one. There's the other one. And here we go. All right, all done. Let's get a close-up of it so y'all can see the lamb. It's cute. This is what it's looking like. All that's left is the grass at the bottom, and we're done with it. Yeah. Luca says, I'm on my break. I got avocados and chips and made guacamole. It's coming along great. I gotta go. See you later. See you later, Logo. Thank you so much for stopping by. I guess you probably said, yeah, you said about 20 minutes ago, but just know that I'm really glad that you stopped by and hung out. I can't believe it's already been an hour. 1 hour, we did one cross and one baby sheep. Okay. All right, let me see. I need, greens. We're gonna use wasabi, which is kind of a thin color, but we're gonna use it. All right, wasabi. My attempt at Studio Ghibli grass is about to happen. Probably gonna butcher it, but that's okay. We're gonna use the hunter green for the mid-tone. And we're going to use a blue, this blue, navy blue, for the darkest shadows, which is also a little bit watery. All right. Based on what the tutorial said, you start off with your lightest color and you paint everything that color. Let's try to spread it out so it's not glooping. Spread it out, spread it out. Okay, when we get to the edges, we're going to dab try to break it up. Don't want to be too uniform. Same with back here. And I'm just going to dab here so that we're still creating that texture around the sheep. We don't want to hide any of the stuff that we did. And I am going to try to make the sheep look like it's actually standing in the grass and not just floating wildly above it with no feet. So normally when I do grass, I use like a textured brush. So this is just very different from what I'm used to doing. And I'll take that textured brush and I'll just like swipe up and make like, you know, little brush strokes that way. So I'm not sure how this is going to turn out since this is a new technique for me. I hope it looks good. That's obviously the goal. I want it to look nice. I want it to look believable, for sure. Okay, got the base color in. Done and done. Make sure there's no white spots. Okay. Need to add a little more. Need another layer over here. Okay. So it's not see-through. Okay. With a thinner brush, I'm going to create some grass strokes. Real quick. So, shoop, just like that. Some grass strokes in front of the sheep. All right. Here we go. Here comes the part I'm nervous about. Okay, so we're going to attempt to create a sense of depth, and our light source on the sheep, it's kind of hitting from the right side, but obviously we have a very obvious light source right here in this area, so that is going to be emanating out. Okay, so I want the shaded parts to be on these sides, and then just a little bit in the middle. I'm going to grab that mid-tone, and we got to be a little blobby with it again, but just kind of painting that in. And my green, my base green is still a little wet, so it's kind of blending, but that's okay. That is okay. I can live with that. It's fine. So here we're just gonna thin it out a little bit. Have another thick chunk right here. And then put some down here as well. Get some on the right side. Now this side, I feel because the sheep's on this side, I don't know, maybe I want to make it just a little darker. So I'm going to have that shadowy bits coming up a little higher into the grassy area. Closer to the wall. We do want to make sure we're putting in some of that dark under the sheep. Like that. Keep my brush strokes loose. Alright, now we're going to add that blue. And this is going to be the shadowy, like the darkest part of the grass. Again, I'm okay if it blends in with that green because it's gonna look a little more natural. Okay, so now that that's done, we are going to go back and forth between these three colors, and we are going to attempt to blend the grass into one another and try to create this layered effect. All right, I need this brush here. Starting with that medium green, I'm gonna go up and start painting in my grass. Trying to crisscross some of these. I just want to try to make it look as natural as possible. Notice like I'm going with this green, I'm even going over that blue, creating that layered effect. This is turning out pretty good. I'm kind of proud of it. Yeah, it's kind of cute. I might do grass like this again. Who knows? Keeping my, like, how do I explain it? I'm just flicking my wrist. You know, I'm keeping my fingers loose just enough to hold the brush, and I'm flicking my wrist to create that like tapered effect. All right, now we're going to grab the blue. We're going to do the same thing with the blue. And we are going to, from the blue area, swipe up into the green. 10 o'clock. I get to pick up my Switch in an hour or so. I hope it won't be that long. I'm number 11 in the line, so surely it'll be quick. Like, I might actually just drive out there and wait in the parking lot and wait for them to call me, because they said they would call my phone. So I'm going to get this painting done before that, because we are so close, guys. We are almost done with this thing. Okay. All right, what I kind of want to do real quick before I do anything else is I want to take this green and I want to just kind of go through and do some random grass throughout. Some little patches. Should have turned my notifications off before I went live. Sorry. I know you guys can hear that every time it goes off, and I bet that's super annoying. Okay, let's get that medium green. Or, well, the base green, that's what I mean. We're gonna get that base green. And we're just gonna do a little filling in with that. Luke, I swear to God, you burp one more time. You not going to work tonight, Bubs? Oh, are you? It's kind of cathartic, just doing one little blade of grass at a time. It's super chill. You know, like those people who do like the hyper realistic paintings? Like every little piece of hair, every little like skin cell, you know, every pore, bead of sweat. And they do it so like meticulously, painting every little piece. I bet that takes forever. I don't have the patience for it, for sure. Bye, love you. Okay, we are going to do a highlight color, and I'm going to use the same mint green that I used in the leaves up at the top. Okay, and then we'll put a couple little flowers in. Here, this brush. So I definitely want to hit the part where the light source is coming out from this area for sure. And then I might hit just a little teeny tiny bit, like over in these areas, just a little hair here or there, spreading it out. Maybe some over here. little dots. Okay, we're gonna do some flowers. I'm going to use this brush. It's kind of rounded, but it's kind of been used a lot, so it's like spread out. I think it used to be a square brush, but now it's like, I don't know. It's kind of doing what I think I want it to do. So I'm gonna tap the yellow. Maybe not that brush. Hold on. Maybe not that one. What brush do I want to use? I just don't know. Do I want to do chunky flowers? Ooh, that is a cute brush. Do I want to do like blobby circle flowers? I might do blobby circle flowers. I'm going to do yellow for sure. We're just going to kind of tap them in. Oh yeah, that'll work. Create like little clusters. Yeah, that's cute. I think that turned out really well. Okay, so what is next? Let me think. I probably need to, just as a finishing touch, because we have a sunset coming from the rocks, take some of those colors and add them to the actual rocks. So get some yellow. Make sure I'm not putting my hand or my wrist in the paint. And then we'll get some orange. It's kind of subtle, but it's there. I kind of like it. I think I'm done. Okay, so since it's my grandma, I will sign it with my name and not Megorium. Okay. White. Sign it over here on this corner. There we go. And then date it. Okay, all done. Do the final shot of everything. An hour and 40 minutes. That's what it took to paint the cross, the sheep, and the grass at the bottom. Do like close-ups. I'm really, really proud of it. All right, friends. Well, thank you so much for stopping by and checking out my live streams. I hope you liked the painting. I hope you enjoyed yourself. This one had a little bit less talking about regular stuff and more of talking through the art process. But I hope you had a really good time. I hope you followed along, and I hope you learned a new technique with me, because the grass technique was a first for me. I think it turned out pretty good, you know. I'm proud of it. It looks really fluffy, you know. I like it. It's very lush. But anyway, yeah, I will catch you on the next one. See ya.